coffee vlog, it's kind of back, not 100%, but it's good to at least make one comeback video on the coffee vlog. So the coffee vlog is back. Yes, this famous thing that I do means it's coffee vlog time. All right, so in this coffee vlog, I want to talk about a video that I saw recently. I think it was yesterday. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with who Christopher Cuomo is. Christopher Cuomo, it's a famous news anchor who was on CNN. He had his own show at 9 o'clock prime time, and he was pretty good. He was pretty famous. You know, it was I would say, a pretty big star for the CNN. And this whole thing happened with his brother, Andrew Cuomo, who was the governor of state of New York. I don't want to go too much detail into that because it's a hearsay. We don't know exactly if what these women are saying is true. You know, women like to make allegations against people in power so they can, get the money and all that. And I'm not going to dive into the Me Too movement and all that other stuff. I want to talk about the video. I'm just briefly telling you who Chris Cuomo is. Chris Cuomo doesn't work for CNN anymore. He works for the News Nation, a much better network, I would say, than CNN. And he also has his own YouTube channel, and that's where I saw the video, Chris Cuomo YouTube channel. And I'll try to leave a link down below so you guys can go check it out. There was this video that Chris Cuomo made yesterday, and it really opened my eyes. Like, how did I not see this? Like, how was I so blind that I didn't see this happening? The video that he made was the video where he talks about the politics and the two-party system and how it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. And it is so true. He talked about how it's easy to manipulate people with this game. He calls it the game. Okay, it's the game. And this game, it's corruption, pretty much. That's corrupting you. That it's manipulating you. That it's keeping you in line. That it's making you think that they are the enemy and we're the good guys, and the people who we think they're the enemy, they're being manipulated and played the game to think that we are not the good guys, but we are the enemy, and that's where the division is being created. So he talked about that, the game in politics, and this political two-party game has been played out since I would say since the early 1940s, man. This game has been played since FDR, man, since Truman, since even since Kennedy and Johnson and Nixon and all the others. It's the game. How do you play the game? Well, it's simple. How do you play the game? You play the game by telling people that, you see, the Biden administration, they're this, and that. They do this, they do that, And granted, they're not perfect administration, but that's how you get your party to believe that they're, this corrupt, evil organization. And then you have the people on the Democratic side saying, you see, Trump this, Trump that, January 6th this, January 6th that, Russian collusion, this and that, paying porn stars, grab him by what. You see, he's a terrible person. He's a terrible, terrible, terrible person, building the wall, all this stuff. And the reason I'm mentioning this is these are the keynotes. When you play piano, and this is what Chris Cuomo was saying, when you play a piano, D minor, C minor. Think of D minor as a Democrat and C minor as Republican. And when you hit those low notes and high notes, these notes trigger something in that party system, people who are part of that party system. And when you trigger that, that's where the movement starts. That's where people start, saying, you see, I told you so. These Democrats, this, and that, they're terrible. These liberals, blah, 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 blah. And then that's the keynote that you hit for the Republican Party. And then on the Democratic Party, they do the same thing. See, Trump, he's a misogynist, he's a racist, he's this, he's that. Every Republican is a racist, and this and that. And hit that keynote. They don't like people who have different sexual preferences, check mark, all of this other stuff. And those are the keynotes to generalize. I don't think every Republican out there thinks like that, nor do I think that every Democrat out there supports what Biden is doing or what Hillary was doing, right? Or what Barack Obama was doing. But the part of the game is, see, this is what Chris Cuomo was saying. The part of the game is to make you believe that's the case. And that's where the piano comes in, hitting those keynotes, And then you got these other entrepreneurs jumping in on that. You got entrepreneurs with the podcasts who also profit from the game. That's another thing. You got these sleazeballs. I call them sleazeballs, the con artists. The con artists, they don't care about either of the party. They only care about their pockets. They're selfish, and they are greedy. How do you think they made the money? By being generous, by being big donors, by donating? Come on. They are in charge of, excuse me, the reason they have that money, and they're sitting on top of that pyramid of money. It's because everything they do, it's corrupted. Everything they do, it's manipulation. Everything they do, it's cutting corners, being selfish, and being greedy. That's how they make their money. And by ripping people off, that's how they make their money. They don't make their money by helping, quote unquote, people. It makes me want to vomit when I hear that, when these entrepreneurs and these, I'm not going to name any names, but these big so-called entrepreneurs comes in and they want to tell you how much they care about the people, right? They don't even take care of their own people in their own workplace. They don't give them benefits. They don't give them a good raise, but they're going to tell you that they care about the people. They care. They only care about themselves. They want to retire, make enough money so they can live in their yachts and enjoy life, and that's it. But they're willing to take advantage of the game to benefit them. So these entrepreneurs on the internet, and Chris Cuomo talked about that. Of course, media, it's already paid for. Media, it's owned by the game, by two-party system. You got Fox News Republican, you got CNN and MSNBC Democrat. So they already paid for. So they're already part of the game. They're already part of that game. But now you got entrepreneurs who are on the YouTube, right? Podcasts, etc. And now these entrepreneurs, and I'm not going to name the names. And Chris Cuomo also didn't name any names, and neither will I. But the big podcasters, the big ones, the millions of views, the ones that play the game, to take the advantage of that game for themselves. So you got some podcasters out there, they're strictly just Republican, right? And they're playing their Republican trumpet, They're telling you, that all the liberals they're terrible and they all think alike. They're just socialist, communist, labeled communist, socialist, all this other crap, right? They're reptilian evil people, blah, 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 blah. All this other nonsense, okay? Right? So they're playing that trumpet, And, of course, they're playing that game to appease and trigger the Republican people who are registered Republican. So that way they can follow them and bring them the views and bring them the money and buy the merc and buy the merchandise. When I say merchandise, and make them a lot of money. But what the people don't know, people who follow these podcasters, is that they don't care about your party. They're just using your party to play the game so that way they can make the money. So yes, they're going to say Trump is a great guy. DeSantis is not bad, but he can do better. They're going to appease. It's about appeasing. That's how you play the game. It's a kissing ass, appeasing. If somebody's kissing your ass, they want something from you. This is the oldest rule in the book. If someone is kissing my ass, if somebody's trying to contact me, if somebody's constantly kissing my ass and trying to get in touch with me, that means they need something from me. That means they want to use me for their benefit. Okay? They're not contacting me because of my beautiful looks. I know I don't look that pretty. Okay, so that's what Chris Cuomo was talking about. It's, so these podcasters, they appease to a certain party. And then you got the podcaster that appeals to Democratic Party, to the Liberal Party. So these podcasters on the side of Democrats and liberals, they talk about you see Trump, what Trump is doing. You see DeSantis, it's a evil guy. He's a dictator, this and that, and then people on the liberal Democratic Party, they say yes, he's evil. He doesn't like my sexual orientation, or he doesn't like, my points of views, and he doesn't want us to have free health care or this or that, you see. And so these podcasters appease to Democrats, and they appease to liberals. And they are hitting all the keynotes that helps the liberals. You see, they're against the vaccination. They're against the science. They still think the earth is flat and it was created in 7 days, right? The earth is not round. And Democrats and liberals, they're more on scientific side of the things, and they don't like to hear that. So, of course, if you're a podcaster, a big podcaster, an entrepreneur, and you're saying these things, you're going to appease to a lot of liberals, and your audience is going to be a lot of liberals that are going to follow you, and they're going to follow you. It's no different than me creating a Sony fanboy channel, where I'm going to appease to Sony fanboys, and they're all going to come to my channel, and they're all going to just, listen to me praise, and preach like a preacher. To PlayStation, or no different if I create a Xbox channel where I'm just appeasing to the Xbox, right? And all of the Xbox fanboys are coming to me because I'm preaching the Xbox. It's like a preaching game. So these podcasters are like a preachers, but they're preaching to make money, right? You see these preachers in these Christian churches, and they're all fancy. They all look fancy. They all have fancy cars, fancy houses. They all look wonderful. They're all in great shape. That means they're living great. They have a great life. And I'm asking, well, whoa, did you win a lottery? Did you win a lottery twice in a row or something? They're making money. They are con artists. So that's what these podcasters are. They're con artists. Now, another thing that Chris Cuomo has mentioned is, don't hate the player, hate the game. And it's true. And again, I'm not hating the players. Players going to play the game. And if you don't know how to play the game, well, it's on you. You should do a better research on how to play the game and how to play the keynotes. How to appease to the game. So don't hate the player, and it's true. I agree. I agree with Chris. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So how do we fix this? And Chris Cuomo talked about this. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So how do you fix this? Well, he says the only way that we can fix this, and it's not going to happen over time. This is what Chris Cuomo said. He says the only way we can fix this is if we, all of us, reject the game. So the idea is to reject the game. And if you reject the game, then the two-party system will collapse. You're going to have some new party come in that will have different outlooks on things. And it's not going to play the game. So it's really about rejecting the game. But I don't think that will ever happen. I mean, if we live in some utopia or something, maybe. But, sure, there's some people out there rejecting the game. They're neither Republican or Democrat. But the problem is, it's a minority. You gotta remember, nobody really cares about minority. People only care about majority. Majority is what makes decisions. The major changes in decisions is from majority. Majority is the one that makes major changes. Minority is not. And I mean, I know it sucks, but that's just the way the system is. Minority, sure. I mean, I feel you. I hear you. I know. I'm in part of minority as well. But majority is where the major changes are being made. So if the majority rejects the game, well, then that's it. You have no more party because the party cannot sustain itself without support of the people. It's going to collapse, So the game doesn't want that to happen. The game wants to keep this going. So, but who is dictating this game? Who is on top of this game? Again, I don't want to go into conspiracies. I don't want to go into that subject. I don't want to go into David Icke's world. Not that I don't agree with David Icke, but I don't agree with everything that David Icke says. But I do see his point that there's a possibility that there is a secret cabal that is on top of that game, that is controlling that game. Like that guy Schwab, the one in Europe, Klaus Schwab, look him up. He's definitely part of that cabal. Then you got George Soros, definitely part of that cabal. But then again, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And the problem is it's so hard to prove anything with these guys because they clean themselves up pretty good. They covered these tracks pretty good. But I definitely agree with him on that part, that there has to be a secret cabal that it has created this game, and this game, it's manipulating this country and the Europe. I guess it's like Colonel Douglas McGregor said, you can call him globalist. I call him secret cabal, but you can call him elite, globalist, whatever, Illuminati, pick and choose, whatever. Whatever you want to call them. I just call him secret cabal. But if you want to call him globalist, that's fine too. And I think they're part of this. I think they created this game, and they've been running this game for hundreds of years throughout different generations, and they're using this game on West and Europe, on the United States of America. They're controlling United States of America and Europe, and this game has influenced United States and Europe to play this game, and sadly, Europe and United States has played this game. Who hasn't played this game? Well, Russia hasn't played the game, and all of a sudden they're the enemies. China hasn't played the game. All of a sudden, they're enemies. Iran hasn't played the game. All of a sudden, they're enemies. So what they do is they will classify anybody an enemy that doesn't play the game. So yes, I guess there is a secret cabal that's orchestrating, that has orchestrated this game for hundreds of years, throughout generations, I think. And this is even during the time of Rockefeller and other, J.P. Morgan, other big uh, bankers and rich, wealthy investors who are part of that probably same cabal. You don't become that rich. You don't think Jeffrey Bezos is part of that cabal? You don't think he has a phone call with a Klaus Schwab, or George Soros? You think he can do what he wants to do without the approval of the secret cabal? You think he can go out to the space without the secret cabal approval? No, he goes to these parties with his pretty wife, trophy wife. He goes there and he meets with all of these secret cabals groups. So he's playing the game, and he has to do what they tell him to do. How do you think he made that money? Because he's so good, because he's so talented. I mean, I hate to burst your bubble. Same thing with Elon Musk. Elon Musk. It's not this crusader that's going to go around and save you. He's part of the same cabal. You can go do some research, go watch some videos. You're going to see Elon Musk going to these secret cabal parties where he's mingling with them. And one of, what you call it? I think it was a Kardashian mom who's also part of the cabal, was fixing his bow tie, and when he went to these parties and all that. Listen, they're all part of the game. So this is what you need to understand. They're all part of the game. Yes, even your heroes like Andrew Tate, it's all part of the game. Andrew Tate has his masters down in Saudi Arabia. What do you think Saudi Arabia sheiks are? They're part of the game. They're part of secret cabal. That's why we protect them. Because of the oil, yes, but also for many other things too as well. So it's all part of secret cabal. Okay? And that's pretty much what's going on. And secret cabal, it's the one that's orchestrating the game. This is where I believe. I believe that, in my opinion, the secret cabal, the globalists, are the one behind this game. They want the status quo. They want divisions. This is good for them. They love divisions. They love protesters. They want to see shit burn. They want to see changes. They want to stir shit up. It's good for them. They like proxy wars. They love that because proxy wars gives them more money and gives them the agenda to change things. When it comes to pandemics and vaccines and all the stuff, that gives them the advantage, right? With WHO, World Health Organization, right? So this secret cabal, it's part of this game. So the grandfather, what I'm trying to say is this, the grandfather architect that created the game, and I'll end the video by saying this, the grandfather architect that created this game, that has been implemented for hundreds of years in the United States and Europe, has been dictating this game for us. And anyone who is not willing to play the game will pay the consequences. You look at Russia, they're paying consequences because they don't want to be part of the game. They want to dismember the Russia and the Russian people, so they can inject their game, two-party democratic system. Look what they did in Balkans and Yugoslavia. They went in there because they cared about the conflict. No, they went in there because they wanted to create their two-party system game in there. They want us to play the game, right? That's the whole idea. Become part of NATO. Play the game. This, and that. Become part of the European Union. Yes, play the game. become part of the European Union. So anyone who is not part of the game is considered an enemy, right? Venezuela doesn't want to play the game. Mexico doesn't want to play the game, so they're considered enemy. Uh, you got Russia, China, India. They're considered, an enemy because they don't want to play the game. And you got Iran, obviously doesn't want to play the game. Pakistan doesn't want to play the game. Jordan wants to play the game. Saudi Arabia, it's part of the game. Turkey wants to play the game. So that's what this is about, guys. This is all about them. But what is their objective? Oh, I'm glad you asked. And I want to finish this video by telling you what their objective is. It's their wet dream. Their wet dream that they had for hundreds of years. And what is that wet dream? It's 3 words. 3 words, guys. Gentlemen, ladies, it's 3 words. New World Order, NWO. That is their main objective. That's what they want. They want to establish New World Order. They want to dominate the Asia, Russia, India, and Latin America, Central America, and that's it. They have the entire globe. Their New World Order. That's their objective, man. Their objective is New World Order. And now they're struggling. And thank God that they're struggling, and thank God that people have woke up and smelled the roses. Well, actually, smelled the shit, not the roses. Smelled the shit. They left the rose next to the shit, and that people have woke up and realized what's really going on. I know this video is going to be demonetized, and I don't care. But I think this is something that I hope you guys share. I don't know if this video is going to be shadow banned. Maybe you should make a copy of this video. This video might be blocked, might be removed. But that's what I wanted to talk about here to you guys. And I think this is probably the truest thing that you ever heard. I think this is it. This is what I think I connected the dots. Honestly, anybody who watches this, I think they're going to realize, yep, Mr. 4K has finally connected the dot and the final dot. I just showed you how it works. You got the government, which is part of the game that's designed. Then you got the entrepreneurs and the media that plays the game to appease to both parties, to keep a status quo and divide people. You've got the secret cabal on the top that's orchestrating the game. And the main goal on top of that pyramid, all-seeing eye, is to create New World Order to dominate the entire planet, to dominate the entire continents, to dominate the entire world. And once they dominate the entire world, what's next? The space. They want to move to space. They want to move to Mars, colonize the Mars, colonize the moon. That's it. That's what this is about, guys. It's about power, control. It's simple as that. That's what this is about. That's what it's about. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry that this is half an hour, but it's impossible for me to make these coffee vlogs any shorter without me telling you how I feel, what my opinions are, and what my theories are. So it has to be this long. So thank you for watching. And yeah, I guess coffee vlog, it's back. Kind of, it's back. But there you have it. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.